Hey, hi, welcome guys. Welcome back to our channel, which is Fibron. And today I am going to discuss about, uh, means from the beginning of the machine learning, from where we should start. And I'm requesting to all, please don't skip this video and don't come up to the conclusion. First, go through this entire video, what the video we are going to offer by today's session. And then you should judge what the things we should learn and how to learn, right? So I set it some agendas for today's session. What are those? First, we will see type of supervised learning. As we already discussed in the last session, what is ML, what is DL, what is NLP, and what is AI, and basically what is the data science. Okay. So in today's session, basically my focus will be on the supervised machine learning algorithm. Then we will see various regression algorithm. Then we will see advanced regularization techniques, and then logistic regression, and then accuracy metrics. We will see all those things one by one, right? Hope you guys got clear with the agendas. Now let's come to the supervised machine learning algorithm. What do you mean by the supervised machine learning algorithm? As I already told you, in case of supervised machine learning, what is the supervised machine learning? In case of supervised machine learning, we are going to deal with the label data. In the sense of label data is what do you mean by the label data? Let's suppose I am going to predict the result of an student. So on which behalf we are going to predict the result of an student? Like suppose if a student is studying, is giving their effort 3 hours per day, then he is going to score means third position. And if that student is going to give 6 hours per day, then he is going to score around means second position. And if that student is going to give 9 hours per day, then he is going to score around first position, right? So this means behalf of that, how much effort that student is going to give on their lesson. So we are going to predict that output. So on the prior basis, we should know means what the output will get. Means we have an input and what the output will. Behalf of that, we are going to train our machine, our model. So whenever the new data or anything new will come, so what the output should come, machine will automatically should get predict, right? So hope you got clear picture about the supervised machine learning, right? So I already defined the supervised machine learning algorithm here. Supervised machine learning is the type of machine learning used to train the model from the label data, and it allows you to predict the output for the future or unseen data. As I already whatever written here, the definition I had explained with the help of example also. Now coming to the example of supervised machine learning algorithms. So what is the supervised machine learning? I just collect some data, means example. There is a lot of examples are there. Okay, if you'll go to the Google and search for the supervised machine learning algorithm example, you will get a lot of things. But this is one I realize I found something which make you unique. And if you in future, if you are going to learn some NLP or sentimental analysis, that time this example will help you a lot, right? First thing, we are going to in case of Gmail is going to identify your spam message or not spam message. Okay, so basically how it is going to be identify the spam message in the sense of it is going to be identified with the help of the sender email or sender IP address or email app content. If any mail is coming with these things, sender mail, sender IP address, email app content, then there is a conditional check are there. There is a conditional checks are there. So behalf of that conditional check, it is going to be flagged that mail, either it is a spam mail or it is a not a spam mail. And if it is a spam mail, then automatically that mail is going to be stored under your spam folder. And if it is a not a spam mail, then it will automatically stored in your general inbox, right? Hope you got the clear picture about the example of the supervised machine learning. Now, understanding about the algorithms. What is the means? As I already told you, this is the input, this is the output, right? So how the input we will give, that much output we will get, right? If a student is giving their effort 3 hours, then he will score third position. If a student is going to give 6 hours per day, then he is going to score the second position. He is going to the if that student is going to give 9 hours per day, then automatically he should get score more than second position, right? So this is the input, this is the output. Behalf of that input, we are getting output. So basically model is what? Model is nothing but mathematical equation. Okay. Okay, mathematical equation. And mathematical equation is what? Basically, mathematical equation is nothing but it's a combination of input and output. It's a combination of input and output, right? So means how the input we will give, that many out, that's the way we will get the output, right? So if you can see this equation, I'll highlight this. 1 minute, let me highlight this. If you can see in the, you know, from the 6th or 7th standard, we had seen this kind of equation: y is equal to f of x. F of x is what? Function of x. So function of x is what? X is what? Inputs, right? X is what? Input. So y is what? Dependent variable, or you can say output, or you can say response variable, right? So response variable is going to depend on the input. And what is the input here? X is the input. So behalf of the x, we are going to predict our y. So this is the means, as I already told you, model is what? Model is the combination of, you know, this model is combination of mathematical equation, nothing else, right? That's all. So hope you understood the understanding the algorithms, you got the clear picture about this. Now, how the supervised machine learning flow will work, right? So basically, in real time, we will get the data like a test, like a means combination of both testing and training data. Okay, suppose we got the 1,000 data point, right? And we have to predict, right? We have to you know, we have to apply some predictions, right? So how we are getting the historical data also. So historical data in the sense of what? If this is this kind of historical data we have, let's suppose for a while, just imagine we have a historical data like this. If a student is giving 3 hours, then he is going to score 3rd position in his class. Now second historical data we have: if a student is going to give 6 hours per day, then he is going to score 2nd position in his class. If a student is going to give 9 hours per day, then he is going to score 1st position in his class, right? So this kind of historical data is we have. Now we have to apply, means we have to do the random sampling, means 3 data we have, right? So let's suppose right now we have 3 data. Now we are going to random sampling, means we are going to mixing all those data, because see, this data, this observation we having from the, you know, 1,000 of student, means in that school we have 1,000 of student, and out of 1,000 student we are going to pick a sample of data of 100 students, because we cannot you know, we cannot analyze complete 1,000 data, because it might be time consuming. So in order to overcome of this problem, we are going to take a random sample of that historical data, and we will split the data, complete 1,000 data set, into 2 parts. One is for training data set and another is for testing data set. How we are going to split that we will see in a while, but how we are going to split, that is the matter. Means what should be the ratio for splitting the training and testing? See, ratio might be anything. Means you can take 8:2, you can split your data set into 6:4, someone is splitting 50-55, 1:1. So it depends on you, but I am suggesting, as my experience, what I am suggesting, you should split your data set into 2 parts, means in such a way so training data content or volume will be more than the testing data, right? So why? Because see, I'll give you one more example why we have always select, why we are going to always select training data set volume more than the testing. See, if you are going to give the entrance exam, and let's suppose you are going to give a GRE exam, and or else you can say any entrance exam like your college exam, anything, right? So in examination we are getting only limited question. Let's suppose we are getting only 5 to 6 question, but in order to give the answer of 5 to 6 question, we are going to learn complete book, we are going to learn the complete book, right? So training in the sense of what? We are going to teach our model, right? So lot of data, means we are going to teach our model with lot of data, means enormous amount of data. With the enormous amount of data, we are going to teach our machine or model, so that in future or during the examination, if he will get something means anything from this book, he will get to know, or my model will get should get identified, right? So suppose if I am training my model with the limited data, means 5 to 6 question, let's suppose I am going to teach my student with the 5 to 6 selected question, and he went into the college or he went into the examination but he got the question which is not under that selected question. So what he will face, he might be left that he might be left that question, or else means he will get confused, means what we had learned and what the question came, right? So in order to overcome this kind of problem, we always select the training data set volume more than the testing data set. Anything. Now it is up to you. You are going to train your model with the 80-20, 60-40, 50-50. It is up to you. But my experience, my knowledge is saying always you should select training data set volume more than the testing data set, right? Next, once a selection has done, then what we are going to do? We are going to apply machine learning algorithm. Yeah, our complete session will be on this machine learning, right? Our complete session will be moved around this machine learning. We'll see all those things in a depth. But right now, as a beginner, whoever watching this video, I'm predicting everyone is beginner here. But for them, I suggest to go with this flow chart first. Once you get the clear picture about this flow chart, then you should jump into in depth of this. So on the top of that, after splitting the data set into two parts, training and testing, you are going to apply the machine learning algorithm. Next, what we are going to do, we are going to apply the statistical model. What is the statistical model? Basically is what let's suppose in case of training data set, during the training period, we know what is the correct answer, right? So let's suppose I am teaching some of the students. Okay, so after teaching, I'm going to take one exam with that student. So what is going to be happen before means once the examination has over, so student is going to judge himself. So how he will judge? He will check his answer, what is actual answer and what he wrote, right? So he will match both the answer. If it is correct, then model is predicting correct. If it is wrong, then model is not giving the correct answer. So statistical model in the sense of what? We are going to see all this statics, whatever we had covered so far, whatever statistical terms, hypothesis testing, jet testing, t-testing, everything we are going to apply under the statistical model. And on behalf of that statistical model, we are going to check the accuracy of our model, means whether my model is giving the correct prediction or not. After applying the statistical model, we are going to predict and testing. On which we are going to predict and testing, or we are going to predict or testing on the test data set, right? Because if you can see this training data set volume, we having 3 cross 5 column or 4 column, yes. And here 3 cross 3 only, because here target column is not available. So we have to predict our target column with this model. So after applying this prediction and testing on the test data set, after applying the prediction or testing model or whatever machine learning model we had created on the test data set, we will validate our outcome, whether this outcome is correct or not. If it is correct, then okay, well and good, right? So this is the complete flow chart of the supervised machine learning algorithm. Once a model has done, we are going to save our model. Model is nothing but it's a kind of machine. If you can see here machine learning, machine learning model, we had created like a kind of processor. Model is nothing but it's your machine. So once you create your machine, you are going to store somewhere. You can store your machine anywhere in your local system or in your cloud, anywhere. Okay, so behalf of that machine accuracy, we are going to predict our output, right? Next is what? Next, once your model has created, once you done your model creation, model building, after that, what you are going to do the next? You are going to check your model, or you are going to test your machine with the unseen data, right? So we have again testing and training data set. We have this new data. Earlier we having the historical data. Now we having the new data, and now we are going to apply that machine learning model which we created in the previous slide on the new data, and we are going to validate whether prediction means we are going to get the prediction output, right? So algorithm prediction can be improved by more training data set. Yes, obviously, how much you will learn, that much score you will get, right? Means see, someone is studying only one book for GRE preparation, someone is studying only one book, but someone is studying from the various kind of book, right? So he will score, probably he will score more than that student who is going to learn only single book, right? So means that the thing only overall conclusion is this: algorithm prediction can be improved by more training data and capacity of algorithm will be redesigned. Next is what? Next, type of supervised learning. Okay, so basically complete supervised machine learning I am going to categorize into two parts. One is classification machine supervised learning, or another second category of supervised machine learning is regression. Regression is the kind of supervised machine learning. So we will see all those things. Don't worry what is classification, it's what is regression, everything we will see means in depth. But right now just take it up and heads up all those things, right? Next, in supervised learning, algorithm is selected based on the target variable. Okay, so which kind of algorithm you have to apply? Either you have to apply classification or regression, that depend on the target column, whether your target column is categorical in nature or you can say continuous in nature. What do you mean by the categorical and continuous? See, I told you one student is getting scored either first, second or third position, right? So this is the three category only, either first, second, third. There is a no position defined between the first and second. So this is known as the categorical data. If you are going to deal with this kind of problem, then always you should apply the classification machine learning algorithm. But let's suppose I'm going to say one thing, kind of thing. If you are going to buy one apartment and that apartment size is 200 square feet, then you have to pay around $50. Let's suppose. But if you are going to buy an apartment which having the shape of 400 square feet, then almost obviously you have to pay more than that money. So now this time you are going to pay $500, right? So this is the means, if you are going to deal this kind of continuous data set, the continuous kind of data target column problem, then you should always apply the regression kind of algorithm. Okay, coming to the next slide, type of supervised learning. Again, if target variable, yeah, I just already discussed about it, that if target variable is categorical or classes, then you have to apply the classification algorithm. What is categorical? I already told you, first, second, third wala example. And if you, here is the one more example, like we have to predict our car, means there is a car 1 XYZ. Okay, so 1 minute. So basically what is that? You have to predict, there is a three kind of car, like a sedan, SUV and hatchback. So these are the three kind of car we having, all car having their own specification. So in other word, we can say classification applied when has the finite and the discrete value. An example, predict the class of the car given its feature like a horsepower, mileage, weight, color. Okay, so behalf of this parameter, we are going to predict whether this car is sedan or SUV or something, right? So if you are going to deal this kind of problem, then obviously you should apply the classification algorithm, right? Next, we are coming to this type of supervised learning. Again, if target variable is a continuous or numerical variable, what do you mean by the continuous? The number which lie between 0 to infinite, that is known as the continuous data set. Means at every point data will be defined. So that kind of data is known as the continuous data set, right? So if your target variable is continuous or continuous in nature, then you have to apply the regression kind of algorithm. Basically this, I just given one example. If you are going to buy one flat and that flat size is 200 square feet, then you have to pay around $500, right? Approximately. But if you are going to buy a flat which having the size 400 square feet, then obviously you have to pay double of that money, right? If you are going to buy this kind of, and that money will get vary based on the place, based on the location, everything will get vary, right? So if you are going to deal this kind of problem, then obviously we are going to apply regression problem, right? We are going to apply the regression algorithm. My bad. The simple regression algorithm will follow the straight line equation. We'll see all those things equation wise. We don't panic about that. Mathematics, don't worry. How we taught you statics algorithm with the maths, we are going to cover all those things from the math and very granular in nature, right? We are going to deal all those things from the scratch. Don't worry. And at the end of this, we will cover with the Python also. Next, Next, what is that type of supervised learning? Basically, what is class and how? Basically, what is that? See, how we'll ensure that we have to apply the classification algorithm or regression algorithm. If let's suppose if you are going to predict what kind of class it is, then you should apply classification algorithm. If you are going to predict how much value we are going to predict, how much, then you should apply the regression kind of problem. Basically, type of means classification algorithm we having. One is logistic regression. Everything we will see how it works, what is the mathematics behind of that. Next is decision tree, random forest, and naive Bayes classifier, and yeah, support vector machine. These are the different classification algorithms we having. We are going to deal all those things, and also we will see how to deploy this. Once you create the model, how you are going to deploy into the production, so that no one can say you, because everyone is here in the learning state. No one is going to give the idea how to deploy and how to use this model in the real time. So we will see all those things from the scratch and from the very granular layer. Okay, so don't be panic, just keep on learning, keep on learning, keep on learning. This is the only mool mantra to become a data science, because this domain is completely new in this India. Okay, not in India, ever in this world, right? So everyone is in the learning stage. So we are going to explore in depth of all those things, right? Next is regression. What is the kind of type of regression algorithm? First is linear regression. Next is polynomial regression. Third is multiple linear regression. This is the three kind of regression algorithm we have. This ridge, lasso, and elastic regression. This is the it's not a regression algorithm, I can say. It's a, you can say some instant you can say it's a regression algorithm, but as of my knowledge, this algorithm is used to overcome the problems which occupied in case of linear or multiple regression. So we will see all those things, when you have to apply which kind of regression algorithm, when you should apply which kind of classification algorithm. Everything we will see in depth. Hope you understood the concept with this today's agenda. And yes, that's all for today's video. And next video we will start linear regression. Okay, thanks for watching this. And if you like this video, then please do subscribe and keep your thumbs in. Thank you for watching.